Little Late Night Bears coming at you here at Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Hope everybody's having a fantastic night or morning if you're watching on Tuesday morning. Hopefully you're watching here on Monday night because this is what we do. We bring you news when it drops. According to Brad Biggs, the Bears are signing 3 defensive backs as injuries are piling up in the secondary. We're going to break it all down for you guys. Are these long-term concerns with these injuries? What is the deal with these 3 specific players that they are adding? And we can also explore who they're going to have to cut/move to IR to make room for these players. But we'll break it all down. Listen, we're in my at-home office studio. It's after 10 o'clock Central Time, maybe closer to 11 by the time you watch this. Support the show. We're bringing you content for free every single day. You want to have my back? I have your back when news drops. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. That way you never miss a video here on Chicago Bears Now. Okay, Mark Perry is first up here as he has signed with the Chicago Bears. And I am familiar with Mark Perry because he and I went to the same school. He is a TCU Horned Frog. He was on the 2022 national runner-up team. I actually did a short on this edition a few hours ago because Aaron Wilson had the initial scoop. They have since added 2 more players who we'll tell you about. But I thought I'd talk about Perry first, A, because of my familiarity with him, and B, because he was the first one to be reported. Undrafted free agent last year. I'll be honest, he was much better on that 2022 team that made the national championship game than he was in 2023. He was at Colorado before that as well. But he's a versatile safety. Can play both spots, not afraid to mix it up in the run game. Decent size at 6 foot, 215, and has bounced around multiple practice squads since he's been in the NFL. The Dolphins brought him in last year. He was waived as part of their final cuts. He ended up returning to Texas, signing with Houston, and was on their practice squad until mid-September of last year. The Patriots then picked him up, and he actually signed a futures deal with them this offseason. He was later cut. The Titans picked him up in April, and then he was waived just about a week ago, and now the Bears bring him on board after he was part of an 8-man tryout earlier today. Like I said, can play both safety spots, can play a little nickel as well. This kind of feels like maybe your short-term major Burns replacement. They need a body at safety. Burns hurt his knee in that preseason game against the Miami Dolphins. So Perry is going to help get through that. And remember, the Bears have joint practices this week, so a lot of this could just be, hey, they need bodies on the back end. And I will say this, Brad Biggs did write in his article saying that all 3 of these potential additions have limited experience, and that's probably good news because that could be a signal that the Bears aren't overly concerned that a lot of these injuries in the secondary are long-term, likely that they're more short-term. Jaylon Johnson, who's going to miss all of camp, hope is still to get him back by week 1. Kyler Gordon doesn't sound like that's a long-term one either. He did add that Nick McCloud is dealing with an undisclosed injury, so we were kind of wondering what's going on there. They cut Ameer Speed, obviously. Zay Frazier still gone with a personal issue. Then Terell Smith is now dealing with the groin injury. So they've got a lot of guys, a lot of attrition right now in the back end. But none of these additions, it's not like they signed Stephon Gilmore, right? Like that would be a signal like, whoa, like that's a guy you signed to not only make your team, but potentially start. These are more camp bodies. If one of them surprises you and makes the team or practice squad, great. But in all likelihood, this is to help get through the next few weeks between now and week 1. Okay, Mekhi Garner is next up here. Big outside corner, 6'2", 210. He was an undrafted free agent in 2023. Played at UL Lafayette before transferring to LSU for his final collegiate season. The Eagles had him from 2023 and 2024. He was briefly on the Arlington Renegades in the spring league this spring. But he's played in a few NFL games, I think 3 games total, but only on special teams. The Eagles are the only professional team he's been with. Ran a 4.55 in the 40, so decent time there given his size, 38.5-inch vertical jump as well when he was preparing for the NFL draft. So he does fit the mold of a press outside corner. And again, with Terell Smith and Nick McCloud out of the mix right now, Zay Frazier as well, he can come in here, has a little bit of experience, and give them some depth on the back end. So we'll see if Mekhi Garner can make any noise. And then lastly, Kaleb Hayes, an undrafted free agent back in 2023 with the New York Giants, I believe. Let me see if that's right. If they were the first team to get their hands, it was actually the Jaguars who had him. Then he ended up on the Giants practice squad, Denver, Green Bay, and then signed with the Michigan Panthers UFL team. He's actually on their priority list for next year. So if he doesn't play in the NFL this season, the Panthers, I believe, will have his rights. But versatile corner, 6'1", 195, probably profiles more as a nickel. And part of this article, too, was a quote from Josh Blackwell saying that just based on the injuries, he had to play late into the fourth quarter. So with Kyler Gordon out, Blackwell having to play a lot of snaps in the preseason opener, he's obviously a guy that's going to contribute on this team. Kaleb Hayes might have to play some of those nickel snaps for the time being behind Josh Blackwell. So that's probably where he plugs in at this point in time. But he's bounced around. The Packers released him in May, so that was the last time he was on an NFL roster. But that's where the additions are right now. Quick little recycle. Mark Perry, Mekhi Garner, and Kaleb Hayes. Two corners, one outside corner, one versatile guy who's probably going to play more slot. And then, of course, Mark Perry, who's more of a safety, can play a little nickel, too, if you need him to as well. Those are the additions. Now, with 3 additions on board, you're going to have to make 3 corresponding moves to make space for these players. Did one of these injured players, do you put them on season-ending IR? Like, is Major Burns a guy that you stash? Kind of like Ian Wheeler last year. Now, Wheeler tore his ACL, but if Burns had a somewhat significant knee injury, even if it's not truly season-ending, but you like him, even though he's probably not going to make your team this year, do you put him on IR and kind of stash him have him back on the 90-man next year? That could be an option. Do you cut a couple of players? I mean, guys that come straight to mind, like a Chris Glazer, the interior offensive line's a little thin, but that was a pretty rough watch on Sunday. I don't think he's got any real path to making this team. You could look at the receiver position, a lot of bodies there, like a John Jackson, a Samari Torrey, a couple of guys who don't really have a shot of making this 53-man roster. Would you briefly cut like Austin Reed at quarterback? That seems unlikely. I think they like him. They want to keep him on the practice squad. Trying to think where else, because you're not going to cut other defensive backs because that's where you're thin. So I don't think that's going to be the route. Maybe a depth defensive lineman or something like that, someone way down the roster like Jamari Croma or someone of that ilk, but they're going to have to make 3 corresponding moves to make room. If the Zay Frazier thing is something that's going to seep into the regular season, do you just put him on season-ending IR as well and just say, hey, we're just going to redshirt this year and get him back into the fold next year? So keep an eye on that. We will have this all covered. Brad Biggs said that with practice off tomorrow, this may not be formally announced until Wednesday when they practice next, but all are expected to be on the practice field on Wednesday at Hallis Hall. And get up to speed quick because the Buffalo Bills are coming to town Friday, and a couple of these guys are going to have to get some reps in those joint practices. So secondary could get worked a little bit with Josh Allen and company coming to town, but hell of an opportunity. I mean, hey, welcome aboard, Josh Allen. The MVP. He's going to be throwing the ball here in a couple of days. So good luck defending that guy. But hey. Pressure makes diamonds sometimes, as they say. So are you guys concerned about the injuries to the secondary? I'd be more concerned if there was chatter of a legitimate, proven player that they were going to sign. But like Big said, none of these guys are really proven or experienced in the NFL. These feel more like short-term camp bodies. So I'm not too concerned at this point in time. You guys let me know how you feel about it when it comes to the injuries in the secondary. Obviously, Jaylon Johnson and Kyler Gordon continue to be the ones to watch most. Terell Smith is certainly one to keep an eye on as well. But that's where things sit right now when it comes to this roster. And again, when they cut some players / make a roster move via IR or whatever the case may be, we will have that covered as well. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is Harrison Graham. Little late night Bears for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bear down.